Today's all about the hamstrings, and it's quite common with quite a few of my clients, and also my lovely stepdaughter Rosie has tight hip hamstrings and feel that whilst they're stretching them, it's really not helping. So tight hamstrings, the cause of those is quite often something different. It could be an injured or a unstable lower back, lack of mobility through the hips, tight hip flexors, underactive glutes. There's any number of reasons. So today's routine is all about creating strength and stability enable for your hamstrings to have more flexibility. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to line your back, feet hip distance apart. Okay, just let those bones sink into the mat and just transition into this time to work on getting better movement in those hamstrings. Okay, so you just want to breathe in through the nose and out through pursed lips. Okay, we're keeping our pelvis nice and neutral, so there's a small gap between your lower back and the mat. Okay, so we're not jamming our back into the mat, it's just nice and flat. Okay, and now I just want you to start gently marching the legs. Okay, so we're just going to start to get warm. Okay, keep breathing. Okay, keeping that pelvis nice and neutral. So now we're going to keep the left leg on the mat. Right knee is going to come in, extend the leg, lower away, just drag it through the mat. Again, away and drag back. 2 more. Actually, let's do 3 more. And last one. Okay, and then let's switch sides. So we're going to come in, extend, lower, drag. Okay, so you should feel those hamstrings are gently warming up now. 2 more. Okay, so I want you to take that right leg, hold on behind the thigh, get straight as you can. If you're not so warm, keep it a little bit bent, but we're just going to flex the foot, point, flex, point, flex, point. Okay, so now I want you to pull the leg towards you, but with the hands while you're pushing the leg away using your leg muscles. And then release, and then just let's see if you just got a little bit more movement through that hamstring now for flex and point. Good. Hug the knee in, and let's switch sides. As the knee comes in, extends up for flex and point. Okay, so then pull in with the arms as you're pushing away with the leg, creating that resistance. And again, flex and point. And hug the knee in and lengthen down. Okay, so now I want you to keep your left leg long, right knee is going to come into tabletop position. Okay, we're going to go into a 1-leg circle. So this is all about keeping stability through that pelvis. We're going to take the knee out to the side, extend it down, bring it around and up. So you're going around a clock face. Okay, so the knee is staying in alignment, so you're not letting the hip fall out to the side. Knee staying in line. We're just moving that femur in the pelvis, in the socket. Okay, and 1 more. And then let's reverse it. So round and up, round and up. So pelvis is nice and stable. Okay, so we're not rocking it. It's all about keeping that core strength, building that core strength, I should say. Okay, hug the knee in. Okay, then I want you to extend that leg up, hold on behind the thigh, lift the head and chest, hover the bottom leg off floor. We're going to go into scissors. So we're going to pulse, 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 pulse. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Let's bend that knee now. And let's go into 1-leg circle on the left leg. So round and down and up. So when I do this on this side, on my left leg, I can feel a little click at about 5 o'clock on the clock face. Okay, so I try and keep that movement a bit smaller until I don't hear that click anymore. Okay, let's reverse it and go the other way for 5. That's due to the fact that I have a scoliosis, so my pelvis is not in line. So that's how I can hear that in my own body. Okay, and last one. Then extend that leg up, hold on behind the calf, lower leg comes up as well, and we pulse for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one. Bend the knees in, hug them to your chest. Okay, so now knees going to tabletop. Okay, ideally I would like you in a neutral pelvis position for this. We're going to go into the 100. If you feel there's any strain on your lower back, I would like you to go into that more flatter back imprinted position. So we're just tucking the pelvis slightly towards the rib cage, knees come up and they are glued together. Okay, so let's use those inner thigh muscles. Arms go long, head and chest are lifted, and let's pump the arms as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. In and out. In, out, in. Keep the head and chest lifted, out, and keep breathing. In and out. In, out. If you're feeling neck strain, you can take the neck down. Out, in, out. Let's do 2 more rounds. In and out, in and out. Oh, in and out. Sorry, I think that was 3. And hug the knees in. Okay, so just hold on behind the thighs. Come up. I want to now go into a seated position. Okay, so we want to be high on those hips, sit bones, with a vertical spine. Okay, so we're going to take your head in your hands. We're going to do a neck pull prep. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to slide those sit bones underneath as you roll back and create a C curve. Keeping that C curve using the abdominals as you come over the knees and then restack the spine. Again, so it's rolling back, all the work is in the abs. Come over the knees, restack. Keep the shoulders relaxed. All the work is in these abdominal muscles. Over, restack. Let's do 3 more. Roll back, pull forward, restack. Last 2. Only go as far as your body allows. So you shouldn't feel too much gripping in these hip flexors in the front. So if your hip flexors grip, just go a small way back so you can only feel it in the abs. Forward and restack. Good. We're now going to straighten the legs. Again, sitting high on those sit bones, so in a vertical position. So we don't want to be slouching. That means you need to sit on a yoga block or a towel, that's fine. Or because your hamstrings are probably quite tight, just bend the knees slightly to make sure you're in that nice straight spine. Okay, feet are flexed, arms are long, shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, flex forward beyond the toes. Okay, so you should feel a nice stretch down those hamstrings, and then restack the spine, making sure the head comes back over the shoulders. Again, inhale, exhale, forward. So it's as if I'm pulling you back as you're reaching forward beyond the toes, and restack. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, exhale, last 2. And restack, and last 1. And stack. Right, let's move on to those glutes now. So lying back down on the mat, feet are hip distance apart, but you want to bring them closer to your bum now, because we're going to go into a shoulder bridge exercise. Okay, arms are long against the mat, pelvis is in neutral, so we have that small gap, and we're just going to pick the pelvis straight up, so you're in a nice long line, shoulder to knee, and then barely tap it down. So really squeeze those glutes and hamstrings to lift that pelvis off the mat. We're going to do 8. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now I want you to take the feet the width of the mat and turn the feet out, so you're in a slight lateral rotation. So it's going to work a different part of the glute. So same exercise though, we're going to pick the pelvis up and tap. 2, 3, 4, keep breathing, 5, 6, 7, and 8, squeezes up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, tap down. Okay, come back into parallel position. So we're now going to go into like a full shoulder bridge exercise. I'll give you options in case this is too much for you, but we're going to pick the pelvis up. Imagine there's an X across you to keep your stability. Lift the right leg to tabletop, extend the leg, flex the foot down to level with the other knee and up. 2, 3, bend the knee, down, change sides, make sure you're stable. In, up, down. 2, 3, knee in, tap down. Okay, if you're happy with that, keep going with that. I'm going to give you an alternative. So we're going to pick the knee, pelvis up, bring the knees to tabletop, and we just tap the knee. So down. 2, 3, and change. Down. 2, 3, and drop down. Okay, we're going to do that one last time. Put the pelvis up, knee in, extend, lower, lift, lower. So you should feel a nice stretch on that hamstring as you bring in the leg back to the ceiling. And last one. Keep squeezing those glutes. 3, knee in, and lower it down. Okay, we're going to come now onto your tummy. Oops, getting tangled. Okay, so we're going to lie on the mat. We're going to rest our forehead on our hands. Okay, I want your feet to be slightly a bit wider than hip distance apart, and then I want you to turn the heels in. So this is called a slight lateral rotation. Okay, all this is doing is creating more room in your pelvis to allow us to move the legs. Right, so we're going to rest your forehead on your hands, and we're going to extend the right leg away using the hamstring and the glute to lift it up and lower. Okay, extend and lower. Okay, so this exercise is all about the length that you can create. If you create length, the muscle will lift. It's not about getting the leg high, which is going to put pressure on your lower back. Good. Don't forget to breathe. This is 4. And let's do one more on either side. Okay, so now I want you to pull those glutes and hamstrings down. Imagine there's a little flame under that belly to keep it, your abs supporting the lower back. Head is still in the hands. We're going to lift both legs up, and we're going to just tap the heels together for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower them down. Good. Coming onto your side now. So create a little pillow for your head and neck. Bottom knee is bent at 90 degrees. Top leg is coming straight out of the hip socket, and you're lifted in the waist. If you put your hand on your top hip and just push it away, you'll feel that waist lifting. So we're not lounging on the floor. Okay. So now I want you to flex the foot, and we're going to kick, point the toe, slightly extend back. So it's coming from the hip crease. Okay, so we're not wildly swinging, it's controlled. We're using our abdominals and core muscles to just flex from the hip joint. This is 3. Keep relaxing the shoulder. 4, 5, we're doing 8, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now I want you to lie on that arm, both legs are long. You can bring them slightly forward if you wish. Top arm is going on the hip. We're going to do what lateral flexion. So I want you to we're going to lift the upper body and the lower body. So we're squeezing the obliques here. Abductors and abductors are working, and then lower down. Again, lift and lower. Really squeeze those legs together. 3, we'll do 5, 4, and 5. Okay, create that pillow again. Just grab the top leg and pull that foot back into your hand, just to stretch out those hip flexors. Good, really push into them. Okay, and then we're going to roll onto the back and stretch out the glutes on that leg we just worked. So either just put your foot across the ankle if you're getting a nice stretch like that, or bring the knees towards you for a nice figure 4 stretch. Okay, try and keep in a neutral pelvis while you're doing this. You'll feel the stretch better. And breathe. Figure 4 stretch is just really good for opening out the hips and creating more mobility, as well as stretching out those glutes. Good, and let's do the other side. So create that little pillow, front knees at 90 degrees, top leg is lifted. Okay, we've got our little gap. Flex the foot, kick, and back. So it's just slightly extending. Really use those abs and core to keep that trunk stable. 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice stretch on the hamstrings as you're bringing the legs forward. 7 and 8. Okay, lengthen the legs and the arm. Okay, top arm long, and we're just going to lift and down, lift, down. You should really feel these oblique muscles working hard for you. 2 more. Last one. Okay, bend the bottom knee. Oh, sorry. Bend the top leg. Bring it into the hand. And breathe. Okay, rolling onto the back for figure 4 on this side. So opening out, or bringing that leg towards you. Excellent. So we're going to end with a little combination of leg pull front, plank, and then going into a down dog. So I want you to go into 4-point kneeling. Okay, angle your hands in. Okay, it just takes a bit of pressure off those wrists. I want you to push through the hands so you fill the space between the shoulders. Spine is neutral. Okay, so it's not sinking, it's not arched up, it's in a nice neutral position. Toes are tucked under. We're just going to lift those knees off and hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the legs back into a full plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift the hips and make the heels go towards the mat in that yoga down dog position. Okay, you should feel a nice stretch across the hamstrings at the back. For 3, 2, 1. Hinge forward into a plank. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the knees, widen the hips, and push back into a rest pose. Good. And we'll just end with a quick mermaid stretch. Okay, so come into this Z-sit position. Arms are on the diagonal, abs pull back as you scoop that arm forward. So you should feel a nice stretch across the top of the upper back where we've just been working them in those planks. Breathe. Open it out, drop the elbow, lift up from the hip. And then do a counter stretch. Oh, that feels good. And then let's turn around to the other side. Again, opening up, abs pull back. You take the arm around. You don't take the arm too far because this is for the upper back. Okay, it's not for the lower back. Breathing. Open out, drop the elbow, lifting up from that hip. And then counter stretch. And you are done, and hopefully we're beginning to strengthen all those muscles around the pelvis and the core to give you more flexibility in the hamstrings. Okay, see you again soon. Bye.